by my couch. Anyways, continue.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for, I believe this is either the 7th or the 8th. I think it's the 7th. No, 8th.
At this point, it's insert number here.
Yeah, it's starting to. It's not like number 55, but it's starting to get farther into the numbers. It's almost double digits. So
yeah, and I have to say the support that we've gotten has been far more supportive than I anticipated.
I haven't checked the channel since I uploaded the last couple of videos, but yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I was gonna say, do you want to check that while I just ramble about bullshit?
Yeah, sure. But first of all, like I was trying to say, thank you one and all for joining us again for another episode of the Taboo Tater Tots Club,
where we talk about anything that interests us, whether it be taboo, tactical, tater tot. Basically, anything that people shy away from talking about, we will talk about here for your listening enjoyment.
We really need to write something down that's solid.
I suggested we record something and for like pre-record something and just throw it in.
Yeah, that's alright.
Because it's hard to do it perfectly every fucking time.
First episode has 26 views. Second episode has 3. Third episode has 5. Fourth episode has 1. And then there is 1 like on both episode 30 and 1. And we have 5? Nope, still 4 subscribers. That's still better than expected.
Yeah, I honestly expected us to still be at 3.
Yeah.
If that. So, but I'm actually gonna crawl out of this couch now because that was not a joke. Okay. Well, hi, buddy. So, how was your week, I guess?
So far it's pretty good. I got my Ant-Man action figure. And
yeah, you were telling me a little bit about that, and I wasn't able to follow anything really, but I am still so excited for you because I know that's something you thoroughly freak about.
Yeah, also, my Darth Sidious, so Emperor Palpatine, he's coming on Saturday. He's arriving to my house on Saturday. Thank you.
And so does the new mic arm?
Yes, so does the new mic arm. And my new lawnmower, which I'm very excited about, is coming tomorrow.
Sweet! Is it a rider or a...
No, it's...
is it a push?
Yeah, it's an electric one. It runs on batteries.
That's hippie.
Well, look, it's either I fork out like $400 or $500 on a self-propelled lawnmower because that's the reason why I need a new one because I can't mow my lawn all in one day because of my heart. Or I spend less than, I think it was less than $250 for an electric one, which only weighs 30 some pounds.
Okay.
And the one that I have now weighs like 80 pounds.
Okay, I can see why you would do it then. Which,
yes, the hippie thing is a plus, but that's not why I got it.
Don't get me wrong. I'm all for the helping Mother Nature and all that.
Yes.
Like, you know me. I love camping. I love hiking and all that shit. But at the same time, like Priuses and shit like that, the electric cars, it's such a fucking retarded ass concept to me.
Look, I love hybrids. I think hybrids are great. You want something that both A, helps the environment, and B, has a lot of gas mileage, which you can switch between the two, that's totally fine. But if you get an electric vehicle just to have an electric vehicle, fuck you. You're not fuck you. You're a douche.
Tree you.
You are a douche.
For real. Like, you're the type of person to go spend $100 at Starbucks every fucking morning.
Yeah. Like, look, if it's a Prius or something like that, then, you know, whatever. It's still economical and you're not horribly pretentious. But if it's a Tesla or one of the newer, like, I think it's called Evo, like an entirely new car company specifically making electric cars, those are the super expensive, like, douchey types of electric vehicles. And
Prius even is still relatively douchey. Taco. No.
Stop eating your own ass.
Did you know that they're making electric trucks now?
Like semis?
I think so, actually.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm talking about pickups.
Well, I mean, there's the Cybertruck.
But no, like Ford and Chevy and stuff like that are
any
making...
type of commercial, not commercial, any type of like civilian car that you can own, they're making electric models of everything.
Oh, so they still have the regular engine, right?
No.
As an option.
No. Absolutely not, no. All brand new Mustangs, all brand new, okay, not all brand new F-150s, but, okay, there are some models that are electric only now, with, like, the Mustang, it's electric only now.
That's so fucking retarded.
Yeah, but...
Mustang is literally known for the...
Yeah.
You know?
And they're ugly as fuck, too. You know what they remind me of? Actually, the newer Mustangs remind me of hunchback versions of regular Mustangs. Like, because Teslas...
They got arthritis real bad.
Yeah. I think they're trying to look like Teslas now, because... Excuse me.
That was a good one.
Because Teslas are sedans. They're four or five passenger, four-door vehicles. But they are like half the size of SUVs now. And so everything's trying to look like Tesla. So that's what the new Mustang looks like. It looks like a hunchback, slightly Down syndrome version of like the 2020 Mustang or something.
I personally loved the late 90s Mustangs.
Yeah.
Late 90s and before.
I have a soft spot for the early 2000s Fox bodies.
My dad, but fuck you, Bryce, by the way. I doubt he's fucking listening to this, but if he is, I hope you drown in a vat of battery acid.
Yay.
Is it vat or vat?
Vat.
Oh, I hope you drown in a vat of battery acid.
Yeah. Mixed
with lemon.
Anyway, cars.
Yes. He used to have a Mustang. It was a 70-something? 80-something?
Yeah.
I forget what style it was. But it was a chase car for Idaho State Police.
I see.
And the same model was used by the United States Air Force.
Oh.
To chase aircraft or something. I don't really fucking understand that shit. But, and it was the coolest little thing. And it was supposed to go to me when I turned 18. But this fucker decided it would be a better idea to fucking sell it. And mind you, that's not why I hate him. Like, I can get over that. He's just a shitty person in general. He is a narcissistic personality who does not give a shit about anyone but himself and his kids. Or his stepkids.
To sum it up, fuck you, Dad.
Fuck you, Bryce. He doesn't even deserve the term dad.
Yeah, I know several people like that. But,
so, anyways, gonna move on from that touchy subject.
So, yeah, there are some models that are going strictly electric and some models that have both electric and gasoline engine types. I believe the F-150 is going to towards like strictly electric, but the bigger ones like the 250 and 350 are staying gasoline and diesel.
Okay, but that's still so fucking retarded to me because pickups are known or are supposed to be known and supposed to be used for work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, getting down and dirty, rough, terrain, shit like that.
Yeah, but people, especially around the bigger cities around here, like to pretend that they're cowboys and do work like that and still have pickups, but also want to be dainty and drink Starbucks. And will have it. It's like, oh, it's an F-150. I'm a big boy, but still have.
And then they got like the fucking 30-foot fucking lift.
My penis is incredibly small.
Like that's literally all it is.
Yeah.
Like literally, if one pulls up next to you at like a stoplight or something, you can feel the baby dick energy.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't say that. That could be taken out of context pretty fucking easily.
But anyway, the whole industry, the entire car manufacturing industry, at least in America, wants to go completely 100% electric by the year like 2040 or something like that. Yeah.
Humanity is fucking doomed.
There's an electric Porsche.
Okay, I could see that. I'm sure it looks fucking retarded as hell.
I didn't get to see it, but all I heard was the words electric Porsche, and I'm like...
Immediately losing interest.
What'd they do?
So, it fucking baffles me because, like, they are supposed to be work vehicles.
Yeah.
I can understand the semi to an extent because long hauls are going to be expensive. Well, they are expensive for gasoline engines. So I can understand battery powering a semi. But you also have to be able to keep the threshold of torque. Is that what allows you to pull shit? Torque?
Horsepower combined with torque, yes.
Because so I was technically right.
Because torque without horsepower is just you're gonna tear the shit out of your drive shaft.
It's just torque.
Yeah. Horsepower you can't get anywhere without torque.
So it's one of those things where you can't. It has to be better.
Yeah.
It has to offer the same amount, if not more. Otherwise, what's the fucking point of a semi that has an electric engine? Mm-hmm. I think electric engines are great in concept. Mm-hmm. I think they have great uses.
The only thing that...
But they are not being used smartly!
No.
Like, I'm sorry to cut you off, but it is so fucking stupid, it hurts.
It's like, oh, this dude got stabbed. Let's use a staple to shut him up. Oh, this dude got a battering ram shoved through his face. Let's use a staple to shut him up.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of how it would work, but there's more to it, you know?
Yeah. What frustrates me about the whole, clean energy stuff, why aren't we investing more into hydrogen?
Or even nuclear.
Yes, there is a taboo around nuclear energy. That would be fantastic to look into further without the
stigmatism.
Stigmatism, yes. But hydrogen fuel cells can last up to, I think, like 50,000 miles on one cell.
Seriously?
Yeah. There is I believe it's an Audi or a BMW right now that's actually being developed where you have 4 hydrogen cells shoved in the rear of the car.
I love shoving my hydrogen cells in the rear.
Sure. And apparently on those 4 cells, it can go up to 125,000 miles on one charge.
And it's a rechargeable thing?
Refillable cells, yes. And
how would you refill it?
Well, it would be at a refilling station, and you would have to, kind of like a propane thing, where you hand them the empty cells and they give you fresh cells. Yeah. And they would say, the fresh cells would only cost you, maybe $1,000 each, which, if you have 4 of them, and you get up to 125,000 miles, That's so fucking cheap.
Yeah. $4,000 every
like 2 or 3 years.
Every other year. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just hippie math.
Yeah. A reminder: we have done no research into this and are just talking out of our ass. If we get something wrong, which we most likely have gotten wrong, please don't crucify us.
Crucify me. It's okay.
Morgan died for. I'm not.
Morgan died so we can sin.
Speaking of sin, we're talking about Scientology.
That is a great fucking segue.
Hell yes. So, tell me, Morgan, what do you know about Scientology?
That they have a Minecraft-looking building.
Oh yeah. Well, I was doing research literally yesterday. I think the building in Santa Monica, I think is where it is. Either that or Miami. I don't remember which one. But it's very blue, and the words and the cross look very blocky.
The building itself, like the structure, even looks like it was built in Minecraft.
Yes, the whole thing looks like it was a Minecraft build until you look closely at the American flag on top of the building. Then you realize, oh wait, that's a real fucking thing.
Yeah, it literally looks like it was built out of like prismarine and white glass and then black and white wool.
Yeah, it does.
From what I remember.
So,
that's about all I know about that, and they're a huge conspiracy theory, and they're probably fucking retarded.
So, let me tell you about Scientology and why you should join.
Hang on, do you really think I'm gonna join any religion? Not just Scientology or anything like that.
The only religion on earth that I think that you would join, even ironically, would be the Church of the Living Force, which is an actual thing. It is a Jedi religion. You can become an actual Jedi. You can get knighted as a Jedi Knight, and you can follow the teachings of the Living Force. That is an actual fucking thing in this world that we live in. The real one. I even looked about opening opening a church around here for the Jedi religion.
Why didn't you?
Just because it's a lot of money. It's like it's like franchising out a McDonald's, basically. But religion.
I'm sure there's like grants and stuff like that to help with that.
I never thought about that. But moving on.
Because government and Scientology.
Yes. So the religion of Scientology didn't start out as a religion. The founder, his name is L. Ron Hubbard, and he was a science fiction author.
He sounds gay.
Yeah.
Like, not even in like a fucking...
You know you're pretentious when your first name is just a letter. Well, it stands for something, obviously, but just like...
Go on!
J.R.R. Tolkien. Like that dude wrote a lot of good science fiction stuff and like fantasy stuff, and I think he wrote like the original Lord of the Rings or whatever.
And he gets a shitload of nerd chotch in his beard.
A lot of what?
Nerd chotch.
Nerd chotch.
Yes.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. Family Guy never went into it.
Okay.
I hope it's spit.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, he gets to be pretentious because he wrote the Lord of the Rings. Right?
He is very successful.
Yes, but
he has proven that his name isn't why he's pretentious.
Yes.
Yeah.
But L. Ron Hubbard was a science fiction author. He wrote like 20 or so science fiction novels about like aliens and time travel and things like that. He wrote this book called Dianetics. It's a form of therapy, and people think it's a pseudoscience. It's not real. Because it's like the body has 3 selves: the mindful self, the spiritual self, and the physical self. And these are all three separate entities, and they need to be in harmony. That was kind of the main teachings of Dianetics.
What kind of fucking bullshit is that?
It gets so much worse.
Oh no!
He made an organization, like a business, to promote Dianetics amongst the counselor, therapist communities.
Marketing your product, that makes sense. I can respect that.
That was in 1950, but they went bankrupt in 1952.
After only 2 years?
Yeah. Because everybody's all like, the fuck is this quackery?
Quackery!
Get the fuck out of here. Your first name is L. Get out of here.
Was he trying to sell it to ducks?
No.
Quackery.
That's an actual term used in, like, medical communities. Like, oh, that's a bunch of quackery. It's basically bullshit.
Just say fucking bullshit.
Well, they want to be nice.
I don't!
Like if you have a doctor and he doesn't know what the fuck he's saying, and you're like, oh, I think I have arthritis. And it's like, no, actually it's cancer. Let's get your hands scanned. And it's like, no, it's arthritis. Like, you would call that doctor a quack.
A quackhead.
Quackhead. Yeah. But no, that's very common parlance.
Dude, I'm gonna do that from now on. Every time I see a doctor just on the street, I'm just gonna be like, "You're a quack." a what? A quackhead.
A quackhead. But he had a wonderful idea after his company went bankrupt. He said, "Hey, maybe if I take these core ideas and aspects of Dianetics, maybe I can turn them into a religion," and that he did.
I mean, I can see where he's coming from. Most religions nowadays are just filled with bullshit teachings. At the core, sure, their teachings are solid.
This quartz rock will heal your super AIDS.
What about my conducular super AIDS?
Oh, this amethyst. If you shove it up your ass for 5 hours a day, it'll go away.
Whoa! I'm cured! And my ass is purple! It's a miracle! Right? Hallelujah!
So, he... After starting
Fuck you, Bryce.
After starting to organize this religion and writing out, like, the core tenets and everything, Hubbard lost the rights to his book.
How do you lose the rights to your own fucking book?
You just don't pay it. You just keep it out of print. You don't print enough copies to keep it circulating, or you don't sell enough, I guess.
Still, it's your work. That is fucking stupid. I don't care.
I forgot to look that up.
I don't care fucking what the situation is. That's fucking retarded. If you spend, hundreds of hours working on a book,
right?
They shouldn't be able to just take that from you.
Yeah. So, at the height of Scientology, which was probably about the late 2010s, there was about 40,000 Scientologists worldwide. Right now, there's estimated to be about 20,000.
I wonder if we could...
a lot of fucking stupid assholes.
I wonder if we could track one down around here and have them on the podcast.
That would be fucking crazy.
Right?
I should put that out and be like, hey, we're looking for somebody who has either escaped Scientology or is currently in the Church of Scientology.
And is okay with being fucked with.
Being absolutely ridiculed on the internet.
Yep.
Speaking of ridicule, there's an entire section on that.
Oh, boy. Now you can color me interested.
No, there's an entire... I need to bring it up on my phone because I bookmarked it. But there's this entire article on how to deal with people who actually are either ridiculing the church in the public eye or are thinking about leaving the church. And it sounds like absolute fuckhead, crackhead, shit-ass... It doesn't make sense at all.
Pull it up.
We'll get to that.
Promise?
Promise.
Pinky promise.
Pinky promise. So, What are some key beliefs of the Scientology Church?
I am legitimately curious to hear this, because Scientology, at least to me, is the study of science.
Absolutely fucking not.
That's what you said the other day when you brought it up to me.
Yeah.
But that's what I immediately resort to, knowing the two definitions, you know?
Mm-hmm. So they believe in reincarnation, which isn't out of the ordinary.
No.
They believe that traumatic events cause engrams, or physical localizations in the brain that can be removed by auditors who do healing sessions that cost money over years. So they believe that there is an actual physical thing in the brain that can be removed that causes traumatic responses, like PTSD responses.
I mean, we don't really know a whole lot about PTSD, so that could technically be possible, but it is highly, highly unlikely.
Right. But
and improbable.
The scummy thing about this, though, is the auditing part, which is you go to your, I don't know what they call them, priest, whatever, and they're like,
bullshitter.
Right. And they're like, hey, whenever my husband calls me a slut in bed, I have a PTSD response. Something like that. I don't know. Or like, just anything really that could give a PTSD response. And they're like, I need to be healed. And so the auditor says, okay, give me $5,000 a month, each month, for 7 years. And I will remove the PTSD from your brain. And once I think you've given me enough money, once I've healed you, I will give you the clear status. Meaning that the church recognizes that you are healed. Basically sainthood, I guess. It's really fucking stupid.
Y'all gotta fucking see the expression I have on my face right now. But it's so fucking dumb. Oh my god.
They believe that past lives, the reincarnation part, happened in extraterrestrial cultures. Their race is called the Xenu. They came to Earth and killed and replaced humans with thermonuclear bombs 70 million years ago.
Hold up.
So they believe every Earthling is a Xenu.
So there's a good chance in their eyes that I'm an explosive device.
No.
That would explain my temper.
No, they used explosive devices to wipe out real humans and replace those humans with Xenu.
My theory is much cooler.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically all that they believe. Other than generic stuff like, be good to other humans, don't be a dickhole, protect the planet.
Which, to be fair, religion shouldn't have to fucking tell you that shit.
Yeah.
I don't identify with a particular religion, as you know. Mm-hmm. But I do believe in treating your fellow man how you would want to be treated. Mm-hmm. And respecting the earth and Mother Nature. Mm-hmm. Well, that's just because of my natural upbringing.
Natural.
I spent a lot of time in nature. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I firmly believe that there is a Mother Nature, and I also believe in the karmic gods.
Okay.
But I do not identify with a sanctioned, I think that's the word you use.
Established
religion.
Yes.
A little bit about Morgan.
Yeah.
I bet you didn't know all that.
I believe we've talked about that in private before.
Oh, okay.
Most of that sounded familiar. But they're criminals. Of course, not that common Scientologists, but people in executive positions and people who lord over the church.
So, in other words, anything executive here in America.
I mean, like, the heads of the church. People who make executive decisions within the church.
I know, that's what I'm getting at.
Oh, yes.
You know, the president, the Congress.
Sure.
The judicial system.
But, this shit's fucking crazy. In the 70s, Hubbard's followers tried to infiltrate over 136 government agencies in Operation Snow White. In Operation Snow White, they tried to destroy unfavorable records about L. Ron and the church. Many higher-ups and executives were convicted and imprisoned, as well as ordinary followers for these crimes. So basically, they would try to become like Bureau of Land Management, or like local governments, or there was a couple who tried to infiltrate the CIA. And
that makes sense.
Literally destroy both physical and digital evidence of wrongdoings of the church, or
of the leader.
Of the higher-ups, yes.
Which probably had something to do with sexual acts against kids. Just if I had to guess.
Not sexual. Sexual acts are usually reserved for adults. I mean, if you can say one good thing about the church, it's that.
Oh, thank God.
No, physical abuse.
That's not much better.
No, not really. Not really, not at all.
That's not much better, but one of these things is not like the other.
Yes. Hubbard himself was convicted of different forms of fraud in 1978 in France. He was jailed for 4 years.
What the fuck was he doing in France?
Probably trying to establish the church. Later on, I'll explain to you what France's ideas are on the church.
Are they good?
No.
Oh. Damn it!
In Canada, in 1992, the Church of Scientology of Toronto was convicted of spying on law enforcement, government agencies, and criminal breach of trust.
Sorry, we don't want your kind here anymore.
But no, people were actually saying like, hey, I have a friend or co-worker or family member in the church, and I'm worried for them. Hey, Mr. Policeman, can you please go check to see if they're okay? And then once they did wellness checks or made sure that they weren't being like starved or anything like that, the church would send some of its followers out to follow those policemen around and see what they're doing and make sure that they're fucking off away from the church, which you can't do. The church has been described by many government inquiries, international parliamentary bodies, scholars, law lords, and superior court judges as a dangerous cult and a manipulative for-profit business. In the year 2010, the Church of Scientology gained in tithings and different things altogether about $28 million. Germany,
Jesus.
Yeah. Germany classifies them as an anti-constitutional sect, and France classifies them as a cult and refuses to give them religious status.
Good job, France. You actually took a stand for once.
Right? Fucking baguettes.
I am legitimately amazed that they took a stand against them.
A lot of places like Canada and Germany give them very limited religious preferences. Like, they don't give them tax-exempt status.
But if they were to deny them outright without any reason, there would be public backlash too.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a difficult position to be in as a political, or even just a leader in general.
Yeah, the church has sued the entire country of France at least 20 times.
How many times have they lost?
All of them.
Good.
So you probably won't know
Wait,
any of these
hold
names.
on. How the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought about this.
Yes?
How the fuck do you sue an entire fucking country?
I mean, the government of the country.
Still.
I
How?
I'm not sure.
Do you have to go to like another courthouse in another country?
Probably the Supreme Court of that country.
That's an American thing.
Well, I know that the UK has a Supreme Court. And Canada does as well, I think.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they're called something else.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. The Super Parliament.
Parliament status extra.
Parliament, yes.
But how do you fucking sue a fucking country?
I'm not 100% sure on that.
Can we sue America?
I mean, it's happened before.
Did they win?
I'm not sure. Because, I mean, technically, Roe v. Wade was like a federal type of a thing.
Well, yeah, there's symbols to Miranda.
Yes, the Miranda thing. Sorry, I just checked my phone real quick. I shouldn't do that. Who are some big names that are in the church or have left? You might not recognize a whole lot of these, but
because I'm uncultured.
Uncultured, yes.
George Lucas.
No.
Really?
Really?
That's a shock.
Some celebrities that are currently in the church, as far as I know. Michael Pena, who is a Hispanic comedian actor. Some of the only movies that I know of him are the Ant-Man movies. John Travolta. You know who John Travolta is, right?
I know of John Travolta.
Yes, I'm not asking if you personally go on like dinner dates with him.
Is he paying? Then yes.
Tom Cruise. Everybody knows about that.
Tom Cruise?
Yes, Tom Cruise. The Tom Cruise. Like Mission Impossible.
Top Gun.
Top Gun, yes. Nancy Cartwright, who voices Bart Simpson and many other cartoon characters.
I feel like I knew about that one. But I also know who Nancy Cartwright is. Yeah. I've been a fan of her forever.
I'm just saying for the audience.
Okay.
Kirstie Alley, who was one of the top billed characters in Cheers. Danny Masterson, who played... I don't even remember the character's name. He was in That 70s Show. He is in jail right now because of like domestic battery or something like that. Celebrities who've left the church. Jason Lee, who played Earl in My Name is Earl.
Yep.
Vince Shlomi, who was the
I love that show.
No, he did commercials for like the Slap Chop and the ShamWow.
Oh!
You're gonna love my nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are those called? Infomercials.
Yeah.
Laura Prepon, who played the girlfriend in That 70s Show. The hot redhead. Lisa Presley. Yes, that Presley. Elvis's daughter.
I don't know who the redhead is, but I do like redheads.
Sure.
So.
And then Jeffrey Tambor, who's been in so many fucking different things. He most notably, he was in Arrested Development. And also, there is a show, I believe, on Netflix. The episodes go on Netflix, I think, like a week or two after they show up, like, on live television. I think they're still going, too. It's called I Escaped Scientology, who, the wife character from King of Queens runs that show because she also escaped the church.
Quote, church.
Church, yes. Quote, church. They are very litigious, and they are known to go after detractors, and they've been accused of stalking those who speak out against the church in the public eye. A famous story was the same actress who runs that show. I guess she was stalked for several years after leaving the church because they wanted to make sure that she wouldn't go out against the church, and they would put a stop to it. But she made a television show after that, after realizing that they weren't going to stop stalking her. And since then, they've stopped.
So in other words, it's, you're going to stalk me? Well, here's a giant middle finger.
Yeah, pretty much. They have sued multiple governments, apparently. Companies and wealthy individuals, as well as common folk who cannot fight back. That's their favorite thing, is to silence people with lawsuits. They gained religious status officially by the U.S. government and given tax-exempt status by the IRS in 1993.
Has that since been taken from them?
No. Not in the U.S.
Lovely.
I think only I saw 3 governments have actually taken it away since the 90s. And apparently they have churches in over 63 countries. So here's some religious bullshit. It says
my favorite.
On their website it says, quote, "In July of 52, Hubbard became the first to scientifically isolate, measure, and describe the human spirit, while objectively demonstrating spiritual potentials. No evidence or elaboration was given to this."
So, in other words, he decided he was a scientist while under the influence of meth.
Probably, yes. Some core tenets of Scientology are actually textbook cult behavior. Disconnection is what they call it. That is the practice of the church where those who ridicule, are spectacle of, or even question the church become SPs, or suppressive persons. Outside of the church, members must remove all contact or connection from SPs, even if they are friends or family, lest they become PTSs, or potential trouble sources. They believe that PTSs are crazy and have a mental disorder or disease that must be dealt with. And here comes the bookmarked article thingy.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
I've been waiting for this.
Let's find that. Let's see.
So hold on,
Yes.
So do they believe that autism is shit like that is a disease too, or is it just people who might speak out against them?
No, it's specifically people who might speak out against them. That's how they kind of demonize them to make them become the other in the church. They say, oh, this person wasn't shown the light, quote unquote, to our bullshit. They have a mental disease. That's why they're like this. So I'm going to read this word by word, line by line, and I want you to try your best to make sense of this shit.
Okay, am I allowed to laugh though?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
And stop me whenever you want.
Okay.
There are 2...
It hasn't even started, I'm already giggling.
Yeah. There are 2 stable data which anyone has to have, understand, and know are true in order to obtain results in handling the person connected to suppressives, which are the suppressive peoples who are outside of the church that ridicule the church. These data are 1. That all illness in greater or lesser degree and all foul-ups stem directly and only from a PTS condition. So you have autism because you are questioning the church. You have depression because you are questioning the church. That's what that means. And 2, that getting rid of the condition requires 3 basic actions. A, discover. B, handle. Or C, disconnect. Woo. Persons called upon to handle PTS people can do so very easily, far more easily than they believe. Their basic stumbling block is thinking that there are exceptions, or that there is other technology, or that the 2 above data have modifiers or are not sweeping. What?
planned fucking
No,
thing.
it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Huh? Can you read that for me one more time?
Sure. Persons called upon to handle PTS people can do so very easily, far more easily than they believe. Their basic stumbling block is thinking that there are exceptions, or that there is other technology, or that the two above data have modifiers or are not sweeping. I don't understand how the word technology is used there.
Do they even believe in technology?
I'm not sure. The moment a person who is trying to handle PTSs gets persuaded there are other conditions or reasons or technology, he is at once lost and will use the game and not obtain results. Are they playing fucking Uno with the dissident, or like what the
No, they're
fuck
playing DOS.
DOS. Okay, sure.
It's the sequel.
Yeah, that actually exists.
Does it really?
Yeah, so does Quattro.
I literally thought I made that up. I'm not gonna lie.
And this is very too bad because it is not difficult and the results are there to be obtained.
It wouldn't be difficult if I understood what the fuck you were saying.
Yeah. A PTS person is rarely psychotic, but all psychotics are PTS. If only to themselves.
Wait, hold on.
It's like all rectangles are squares, but not all squares are rectangles.
So if you're like schizophrenic, or something you were born with and can't control,
yeah, you cannot be a part of the church. Apparently.
Well, I'm fucking safe.
Yay.
We both are.
Yeah. A PTS person.
Finally, my fucking disorders come in handy for once.
Yay. A PTS person may be in a state of deficiency or pathology, quote, an unhealthy condition caused by a disease, which prevents a ready recovery, but at the same time, he will not fully recover unless the PTS condition is also handled. The syntax of these sentences are kind of just jarbled. Like, I don't think the person who wrote this had English as a first language.
Or second.
Or second.
Or third.
Perhaps not third.
Probably fourth.
Bro.
Do you think the first language was like Ninemese?
What?
Ninemese, isn't that what they're called?
What?
The aliens or whatever?
No, those are Xenu.
Oh, Xenonese.
Yeah, sure. Xenu.
Dirty knees, look at these.
Yay. For he became prone to deficiency or pathological illness because he was a PTS. So if people are born with schizophrenia, they were just automatically not fit for the church. Like, it was preordained that they were not a Xenu.
They're like fucking sitting in the fucking maternity ward? I wanted to call it a ring.
Oh?
It's a fighting ring for babies.
Yeah.
They're like sitting in the maternity ward and they just walk up to the child and go, yes, fuck no.
Yeah. Unless the condition is relieved, no matter what medication or nutrition he may be given, he might not recover, and certainly will not recover permanently. This seems to indicate that there are other illnesses or reasons for illness besides being a PTS. So within the same paragraph, they say, if you were born with a condition, you were not meant for the church. But at the same time, maybe not?
This is the bad director!
Yeah.
I'm becoming an idiot!
Yes. To be sure, there are deficiencies and illnesses, just as there are accidents and injuries. But strangely enough, the person himself precipitates them, because being PTS predisposes him to them. So, one causes the other, but the other also causes the one.
That equals 4? Right?
Sure. So I'm not going to read this whole entire thing. It's really fucking long, but I want to skip ahead. Actually, the problem of PTS is not very complicated. Once you have grasped the two data first given, the rest of it becomes simply an analysis of how they apply this particular person. A PTS person can be markedly helped in three ways. Gaining an understanding of the technology of the condition. So are they saying there's like microchips in their head?
That's what I was thinking.
Discovering to what or to whom he is PTS. Hold on. PTS means potential trouble source. Discovering to what or to whom he is potential trouble source. That makes zero sense. Actually, that makes negative sense. My brain hurts.
Mine too. I literally have brain fog.
Yeah. Or C, handling or disconnecting. Which disconnecting means excommunication from the church. They never once in this article explain what the fuck handling is. But it could have something to do with
money.
The death of Lisa McPherson, which is
an
extraordinary case.
We're gonna have to pause it. I need a break to fucking
I
collect myself.
Yeah,
because that fucking article, like I'm a fucking moron, and I didn't understand any of it.
Cool, we'll be back in half a second.
Grab your tampons.
Yay! Alrighty, so we're gonna talk about the death of Lisa McPherson.
I still haven't been able to wrap my fucking head around that article.
Yeah.
No matter, we just took what, 10, 15 minutes?
15 minutes, yeah.
And I still can't fucking process that stupidity. So, anyways, moving on.
If you don't like confusion, how about anger?
Hey, as long as I fucking know what the fuck I'm thinking or feeling, then yeah.
Okay. So Lisa was a 40-year-old American Scientologist who died in the care of the Church of Scientology in Clearwater, Florida. She had a minor traffic accident, and she seemed pretty unharmed. But when when police and ambulance got there to check on her, she seemed totally okay, except for the fact that she started stripping in the middle of the street. The paramedics transported her to a local hospital. But in order to avoid psychiatric intervention, local Scientologists convinced her to leave the hospital and seek care at the nearby flag service operation of the church, which is like help people in need, like homeless people and crazy people and stuff. I don't know, but she was held against her will for 17 days without any medical care, while her physical and mental condition rapidly deteriorated. McPherson was ultimately a victim of negligent homicide, and her caretakers, quote unquote, were arrested for such a charge.
Good.
She was a disabled adult. The civil suit was settled in 2004, and they won a ton of money.
Who did?
The family.
Good.
She entered the church at age 18. They placed her in an introspection rundown due to perceived mental instability. McPherson completed the process of auditing, like I told you earlier, removing shit from their brain. For money. Yes.
Mind you.
And she attested to the state of clear in September of 95. November, just a few months later, McPherson was involved in the car accident. She took her clothes off in hopes of obtaining counseling from an actual hospital because she didn't want to be seen by the church because she knew how the church was.
So it was her cry for help, essentially.
Yes. But I guess Scientologists got to the church when they found out, and they're like, "Oh no, she's fine. Let her come with us."
To the church?
To the little institute that they had for homeless people and stuff. Yes. She seemed to be mostly within her right mind, with, of course, her noted past of mental instability.
Do we know what that past was, or
It doesn't say.
just out of curiosity?
Yeah, it doesn't say. So the hospital staff kind of had to let her go with the Scientologists. Following intervention by fellow Scientologists, McPherson refused psychiatric observation or administration at the hospital and checked herself out after a short evaluation. So they basically evaluated her mental state, and they're like, yeah, this kind of lines up to what her medical history says, and then they just let her go. McPherson was taken to the Fort Harrison Hotel, where she was put under the care of staffers belonging to the church's flag service organization. According to Scientology, McPherson was brought to the hotel for rest and relaxation. However, sworn statements demonstrate that she was brought there for another introspection rundown. But basically, after a 24-hour watch, which they had no right to do, according to the state, she was not getting better. So they kind of just left her be by herself in her damaged mental state. They did not give her food or water. The only water that she had was tap water. She was, by the end of the 4th day, she was not in a mental state good enough to be able to figure out how to unlock the door. And she basically...
withered away.
Yeah. It has been stated by state officials that they probably did this because she went out of her way to try and get medical help outside of the church. And the church saw that as her trying to become a PS, I think it was. Trying to leave the church, basically.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, if you want to leave the church, you can die. And this has apparently happened to many different people who are either mentally unwell or are not in the best financial state. If they don't go to the church for help, then they deserve no help at all.
What the fuck?
Yes. Yeah, they're just a gigantic fucking cult. They, like I said earlier, they do disconnection, meaning that if somebody's family or friends or anybody that they know starts talking shit about the church or looking into the church or anything like that, they will make them drop all contact from those people, just like a cult would. It's just...
The funny thing is, I've known cults that treat their members better than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yet they have actual religious status?
Yes. In the U.S. and Canada and a bunch of different smaller countries, but yes.
Humanity is doomed.
Yes, indeedy. I also, really quick, want to talk about Project Chanology, which is fucking hilarious. It was a protest movement against the practices of the Church of Scientology by members of Anonymous. Anonymous is...
the hacker group.
The hacker group, yep. It started on 4chan. It spread to other Chan boards and other image boards across the net. And it became a gigantic fucking thing. The project was started in response to the Church of Scientology's attempts to remove material from a highly publicized interview with Scientologist Tom Cruise from the internet on January 2008. So basically, they did this little video with Tom Cruise asking him about Scientology, and I believe, because most instances of this video are fucking gone, I believe they spoke about some of their actions about like what to do if like somebody wants to leave the church or something like that. And at the time, that stuff was extremely private and very well kept secret. And they're like, oh, we probably should not release this to the internet. Somebody got a hold of a copy of this video and put it on the internet. And everybody fucking talked about it. TMZ talked about it. Pretty much all major internet and physical publications talked about it. And the Church of Scientology is all like, okay, you're getting sued, y'all motherfuckers are getting sued into deleting this video. And Anonymous is like, no, you can't do that. This is the internet, motherfucker.
Once it's up, it's up. Forever.
Yeah. I think they even tried to sue 4chan itself for having it up. And it got so bad that people were posting the video at least once every 8 hours on 4chan, just to make sure that it stayed up.
Task failed successfully.
Yeah. The project was publicly launched in the form of a video posted on YouTube called Message to Scientology on January 21st, 2008. Basically, the guy in the mask with the deep voice saying, you want to censor the internet, well, we're going to censor you. Their intent basically was to expel the church from the internet. This was followed by distributed DDoS attacks.
DDoS. It's pronounced DDoS.
Okay.
Wait, there is 2 D's there, right?
Yeah, DDoS.
Yeah,
DDoS or DDoS. Same difference. Black faxes, which I told you about already. People sent in faxes into this Church of Scientology as much as they could with just pure black pages so that they would spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on ink. And prank calls. They would people would call in with voice changers and private numbers and things saying like, yeah, somebody order a pizza for Hugh Jass. Is Hugh Jass there?
Bart Simpson would be proud.
Yes. And they actually did do stuff like that, like actually send pizzas to the church if they knew that the staff was there, and order hookers and send them to the church, and just whatever you could think of. Amazon. I don't think Amazon was a thing back then.
I'm sorry if I spat on you there. That was fucking funny though.
They actually sent hookers there. And they were like, yeah, is John Smith here? I was told to meet him here. And, and if they found the names of actual executives of the church or heads of the church, they would actually send hookers there in their name. And they would get in trouble by the church. Yeah. In February of that year, the focus...
Hang on. What if we sent a tranny hooker to the church?
Okay. A tranny hooker?
I figured they're against the LGBT, right?
I actually don't know. I didn't see anything about that.
I'm gonna say yes, just for my joke's sake.
Okay.
We send a transgender hooker in a executive's name.
Yeah. So the thing that kind of backfired about the Chanology stuff is that they started sending in tips to the IRS to investigate the Church of Scientology, and they figured that they weren't doing anything wrong, and that's kind of why their tax-exempt status is so steadfast right now. Is because of this protest movement, unfortunately.
Back in 2010?
2008.
Dude, that's fucking a lot of years ago.
Yeah, but this all kind of culminated to a gigantic real-world protest outside of the church, and I believe it was, it doesn't say where. I think it was the church, the giant church in Santa Monica.
The one that looks like Minecraft?
Yes.
I honestly want to go there just to see the Minecraft house.
The Minecraft house. Yeah, it happened in January of 2008. And it actually kind of lasted until 2010. It was just all over the place, all of the churches. Of course, some churches experienced more protests than others. And everybody was wearing the Guy Fawkes mask, like the anonymous people do. Most people wore them. And,
Not just anonymous.
Yeah. It was mostly non-violent. There were some, like, beer bottles thrown at partitioners. And some...
Oh, boo-hoo. What's a beer bottle gonna do when it smacks you in the back,
Yeah. It was mostly because they wanted to censor the internet, but because of this movement, we now have the actual, like, holy text that they read from, and they find their values from, and different things. And not just that, but just basically every single document in the entire church, all the way from how to deal with dissidents to how to deal with mentally unwell people, and what to do if somebody, a head of church actually does want to leave. It's basically short of public execution. Because they're so high up in the church. But all this knowledge that we now know about the Church of Scientology was because of these protests. And people opening their eyes within the church, regular, everyday partitioners that are like, oh, wait, maybe I am part of something bad.
Like, I'm all for, you going for your religious beliefs and, core values and everything like that. But when it gets to the point where it is occult or abusive, that is where I'm going to fucking draw the line. And I'm going to do everything I can to have fucking SWAT teams sent to that place,
Yeah. That's kind of the end of my little spiel. I could go into horrible, terrifying detail, but there are different documentaries and TV shows that do that.
We could do a second episode on this. At a later date.
At a later date. Maybe in like a couple of weeks or a couple of months or something.
Given time to do research and...
Yeah, I could... I
that.
have Netflix. Yeah, I could just look at a couple of those episodes and kind of get the gist of each story. But there are legit horror stories, just like most cults out there, that are just so heartbreaking and disgusting to hear about. And it's worth talking about even still today, because...
Are they still around today?
Oh yeah. Their numbers have dropped by half, basically, like I said at the beginning. At their height in around 2010, towards the end of these protests, they were about 40,000 members, but nowadays they're about 20 to 15,000.
Well, let's get those numbers down, people.
Yeah. I was actually surprised to hear that John Travolta was still in the church, because I had heard rumors that he was thinking about leaving, because he has daughters in the church now, and apparently they treat, like most cults, they treat the women so much more poorly than the men. And he's come to realize, oh, maybe we should get out of there. And he's talked about maybe leaving the church or thinking about it, but so far apparently he hasn't, probably because they suckered him in so far.
Or maybe because they are threatening somehow.
Something like that, yeah, most likely.
Yeah. So do they specifically target like celebrities and stuff like that?
Yes, they do. They actually do. They have...
Because that's something I'm picking up on.
They actually have like basically missionaries that specifically go to like Hollywood parties that try to sucker celebrities into it, being like, oh, Tom Cruise, he's pretty cool, he's in the church, things like that. And apparently, if you know who Miles Teller is, apparently he's been talked to relentlessly about joining the church, and he's like been wanting to sue them.
So,
for harassment.
Do you think it's more because of their celebrity status, or because of the amount of money they would bring in?
It's all about the money, baby.
Think about it though. If celebrities are part of the church, regular people like you and me are going to want to go in, and
it could be a little bit of both.
Bring money with us, you know.
Yeah, it could be because of the money and because of the influence
and the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
No, neither way though, it's not good.
No, it's not.
I am being eaten by the couch again. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because, one, some of the stuff that they talk about and believe are fucking hilarious. And two, because it's always good to have, even if this episode only reaches like 10 people's ears, it's always good to broaden the awareness of that sort of thing.
Yeah, but be careful, the technology in your brain and all. Yes,
the technology in your brain. We wouldn't want Lord Xenu of the Xenu tribe to put
Xenicus in your brain.
In your Zerain. Yes.
You're in your xenophone.
Yeah. The letter Z no longer sounds like a real thing.
I thought it was an X.
Well, it is an X, but it makes the Z sound.
Okay, so I was right on my assumption.
Yeah.
How has this church not gotten shut down yet? That's what I want to know.
Most likely.
Actually, I have a theory. They pay a shit ton of money to the U.S. government to leave them the fuck alone.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's probably just, here's a fuck ton of money. Please look the other way for all of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. But, they are banned in the country of France. They are also, they're allowed to move about the country, but are not allowed to have churches in the country of Germany.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The Nazis don't even want them.
I mean, they probably looked at their behaviors in other countries and they're like, I don't think so.
Dude, I'm gonna move to fucking France.
Yeah.
They've got shit figured out apparently.
Yeah, and it's really weird too because they have no they respect the teachings of Christ, but they don't reference Christ at all. And their symbol is basically a cross with sunbeams shining out from behind it.
Oh my god, I've seen that.
Yeah, that's their...
I have seen that in person on like a medallion or something.
Well, it also has to be square on all of the four posts. Because if they're round or have little whoosh on them, then that's something different. But if they're all square and they're right jagged, pointy...
I saw them on like a medallion or something.
The Scientology cross, yeah.
Which means somewhere in Idaho, I have at least met a Scientologist. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
If that's not what they're called, I'm gonna fucking...
No, that's what they're called.
I'm gonna shoot a cow.
Okay. Yes.
So... Well, that was a great fucking topic. What are we at?
And now we're in 14 minutes.
So, as you know, last night I was listening to the police scanner.
Yes. And,
I told you to take the back way home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, personally, I always enjoy taking the back way home, but, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's because there was a head-on collision somewhere in town.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounded like they had it shut down at Maverick.
Well, I hit the town square, which is right before Maverick.
Yeah.
And there was nothing there. So I just kept on going through.
I just told you what my understanding of it was. I probably
they might have cleared it up by the time I got there.
Yeah, that too. Or I just misunderstood.
Misunderstood?
Yep.
Okay.
And then there was a break-in or a home invasion. Last night.
I see.
It's super. It was a super bizarre call because some dude broke into a house while the occupants were there and kicked them out of the house.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a mother and her son, both adults, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
And so they called the cops, obviously.
Yes.
And fucking 8 different cops responded to that shit.
Oh.
And it was nuts to fucking be listening to.
Interesting.
So, that's about where I'm at in terms of excitement.
I see.
Oh, and as you know, I'm learning bar chords on the guitar, which I fucking...
son of a bitch.
I fucking hate, but yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Son of a whore.
Son of a whore. Sure. Well, if you don't got anything else to talk about.
Hey, this one was your episode.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit of a short episode. That's okay.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed listening. If you did, be sure to press that like button. Hit that subscribe button. It's free and it helps out a ton.
Even if you can't contribute to the Patreon.
Yes, Patreon, that thing we do. We will hopefully be getting some merch done by the next time we record.
Not technically merch, because merch implies that we're selling it.
Okay. Trialing is a better word.
Trialing merch, yes. Just in case we ever, get big. And the shirt will say...
I get big every night.
The shirt will say...
Taste my nuke, bitch!
There you go. We gotta fit that in at least once per episode.
And the design, you did a fantastical job.
Thank you.
By the way, it makes my titties hard.
Thank you. If you want to see the design, it will be posted as a free post to view on our Patreon.
Hell, we might as well just do a picture of the fucking shirt on Patreon for free.
Well, we'll put the design up on Patreon for free, and we'll put photos of the actual shirts once they're done on one of these episodes.
Did you know that the place that I was talking about does shirts, hats, and like stress balls and stuff like that?
Stress balls?
That was another reason. Like my ears perked a little bit when he said that.
Interesting. Yeah, we can look at his whole catalog of things that you can put the logo on, but
because I think it'd be really cool to have a Taboo Tater Tot stress ball.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Like so that I have something, because I'm sure you've noticed by now we've recorded 15 episodes.
Not even close. Like less than 10.
Like 15 episodes.
Sure.
I fidget.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
I have to have something to fidget with, but I don't got any fidget toys.
I mean, I could just buy us some cheap-ass fidget spinners from Wish or something.
Yeah, but
that's not as fun.
They're not Taboo Tater Tots.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
And the guy actually asked what we were doing with it and asked what our YouTube channel was, and he was super nice. He answered all my questions and even brought up things that I hadn't even thought of. Overall, he was a very kind and genuine.
I just had a think.
Oh, I love thanks.
I had a think. Another tier that we can do for the Patreon once upon one of these days is for a few bucks you can join our Call of Duty lobbies and play Call of Duty with us, because I do plan on getting another PS5 controller one of these days.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
But then we gotta start worrying about hackers and shit like that.
Yeah. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe we'll limit that to like 10 slots or something.
Yeah. I was also thinking for the Patreon later down the road, we could do it to where, for a certain price, you get like a hat or a shirt or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Kind of like a website for shirts, but it's on Patreon.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Sure. Well, Taco's starting to whine. He's telling us to shut the fuck up and get on with it. So, again, thank you one and all for joining us on our little adventure today.
Hit that like. Actually, no. Hit that dislike. Hit that unsubscribe. And
not unsubscribe. You can hit the dislike if you want. All engagement is good engagement. Okay, sure.
I meant.
Yeah.
Because there is no dislike.
Well, if you have an extension, there is a dislike.
Hit the upside down dislike.
Yeah. Leave a comment. We haven't gotten any comments yet. That would be pretty cool. Even if you just say like,
y'all are fucking annoying.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll cry, but it's okay. I'll get over it.
I'll laugh at him crying for you. Don't worry.
Join us next time when we talk about whatever the fuck we want to.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing planned. Do you?
No, not really. I'll try and figure something out.
We'll figure something out. I was gonna say we're smart, but that's a stretch.
We are.
When we put our minds together, we equal half a brain.
Okay, bye!